konsiwa ehojo na manum ya shemikirama ujao mi konsiwa ehojo na manum ya shemikirama enti misuro anajubo bombiara misuro anajubo bombiara ononne makucham Nyanimu anije Ninu nasina metana I feel blessed when I'm wrapped up in your love, dancing to my gospel song. Feel blessed, I feel blessed, 'cause your promises are sure. They are here and amen. Feel blessed. I feel blessed when your mantle is upon my life. I can dance like David dance. Feel blessed. Let me hear you feel safe, blessed. Feel blessed. I feel blessed when your mantle is upon my life. Can just like you, we want on that team, Lord. Blessed. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. Namesu eradise wuni mi banko biane mabanke se yankupana me de me ho matoso. Surely he will deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. And in the name of he who died and rose again, shall you succeed and be blessed. In the name of Jesus. Hallelujah. He done this with the Most High, Almighty God, creator of the heaven and the earth, in the supreme ruler. Blessed. I feel blessed when I'm wrapped up in your love, dancing to my gospel song. Feel blessed, I feel blessed, 'cause your promises are sure. They are yea and amen. Feel blessed, I feel blessed when your mantle is upon my life. I can dance like David dance. Feel blessed. Let me hear you feel safe, blessed. Feel blessed. I feel blessed when your mantle is upon my life. I can dance like David dance. Let me hear you say, ooh, Lord. Everybody sing, ooh, Lord, We want on that team, ooh, Lord, You've been so long. You got the enemy, shuffle, hearing me. Mommy, don't from Eddie Dibia. Jao mi konsiwa ehojo na manum ya shemikirama. Jao mi konsiwa ehojo na manum ya shemikirama. Enti misuro anajubo bombiara. Misuro anajubo bombiara. Ononne makucham. Nyanimu anije I feel blessed when I'm wrapped up in your love, dancing to my gospel song. Feel blessed, I feel blessed, 'cause your promises are sure. They are yea and amen. Feel blessed, I feel blessed when your mantle is upon my life. I can dance like David dance. Feel blessed, let me hear you feel safe, blessed. Feel blessed, I feel blessed when your mantle is upon my life. I can dance like David dance. We want on la tie muka, ooh Lord, blessed. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. Namesu erade se woni mi gbanko bia ne mabanke se yankopana me de me ho matoso. Surely he will deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. And in the name of he who died and rose again shall you succeed and be blessed in the name of Jesus. Hallelujah. Yadondas in the Most High, Almighty God, Creator of the heaven and the earth, in the supreme ruler. Blessed. I feel blessed when I'm wrapped up in your love, dancing to my gospel song. Feel blessed, I feel blessed, 'cause your promises are sure. They are yea and amen. Feel blessed, I feel blessed when your mantle is upon my life. I can dance like David dance. Feel blessed, let me hear you feel safe, blessed. Feel blessed, I feel blessed when your mantle is upon my life. I can dance like David dance. Let me hear you say, ooh Lord. Everybody sing, ooh Lord, We want on that same look at, ooh Lord, You've been so wrong. You didn't let me shuffle, hearing me. Mommy, don't move up from Eddie Dibia. Tell me consiwa ehojo na manumya shemikirama. Tell me consiwa ehojo na manumya shemikirama. Enti misuro anajubo bambiara. Misuro anajubo bambiara. Onone makucham. Nyannimu anije Ninu nasina metna. Feel blessed, I feel blessed when I'm wrapped up in your love, dancing to my gospel song. Feel blessed, I feel blessed, 'cause your promises are sure. They are ye and amen. Feel blessed, feel blessed. I feel blessed when your mantle is upon my life. I can dance like David dance. Feel blessed, feel blessed. Let me hear you feel safe, feel blessed. Feel blessed, feel blessed. I feel blessed when your mantle is upon my life. I can dance like David dance. Feel blessed, feel blessed. We want to let you move, oh Lord. Blessed. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. Namesu eradise wunimi banko biane mabanke se yankupana medeme ho matoso. Surely He will deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. And in the name of He who died and rose again, shall you succeed and be blessed in the name of Jesus. Hallelujah. Done this in the Most High, Almighty God, Creator of the heaven and earth, in the supreme ruler. Blessed. Feel blessed, feel blessed. I feel blessed when I'm wrapped up in your love, dancing to my gospel song. Feel blessed, feel blessed. I feel blessed. Cause your promises are sure, they are yea and amen. Feel blessed, feel blessed. I feel blessed.
Hey, stop! You little man, just see him go. This baby can run all day long. I wonder what I would do if there were two of him. I am very happy I decided to wait before having another child. Luckily, I met a family planning advisor at a salon who gave me great advice. I also claimed the Advantage Secure gifts. Now I can space the birth of my children as I want. With Secure, I decide.
This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Hey, Charlie. What's up? Chai, drop your money. 20, no contribution, no chop. But you pan 20 for this. See, I don't get nothing. The second baby just landed. So soon? But the first baby is just a year old. That is why he has kept it a secret.
Sure, access them.
See,
So after
I just can't help it. My babe is fine. Look who is talking. We have fine wives too, but we plan our lives. Our wives take Secure. Secure oral contraceptive pill is trusted by many women because it has helped them to effectively plan their families. Jobo, have a discussion with your wife and go see your doctor or midwife for advice. Charlie, you guys open my eyes. Wow. Go pay.
This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Hello and welcome to Encore, the Facebook Live platform on which we discuss all things love, marriage, relationship, sex, and what have you. They call me Uncle Whyte, and I welcome you to this. I don't take the fact that you join us for every episode, you sacrifice your time and your data to be with us for granted. So thank you very much. Today, we'll be having Efe tell us how we can watch Rejected on Sunday. So Efe is on standby. She's looking very, very good. Munching some very expensive things. So the English she will speak today, I think, will be of a different world altogether. And then we would go on to your questions. Some of the questions we were not able to address from last episode, we would handle them today. But before we do all that, let me bring you a presentation on the enemies of love. The enemies of love. We love to be in a love relationship, but quite often we do not take into consideration the many enemies of a love relationship, and we need to work, we need to recognize that. And let me also welcome you, Miss Hoiga. Miss Hoiga, check the spelling of talkative. Why? I mean, just check the spelling of talkative. Hopefully, Anita, Hetty, Polycarp, good to see you. Class Captain Nesbitt is already giving instructions to it's interesting. He's the class captain, but this is one of the few times he's been here early. That he's been around before the class begins. Nanaraba, and then Leben, and come again. Lebene. What does it mean? Sonemude. Sonemuye. Lebene. And this is Eve. You are gone. Bismarck from Palmer Ruth, and the rest of you, welcome. Let's go straight on to our presentation for today. And remember, as soon as I'm done, we'll take a short break, and Efe will be here to explain to us how we can join the streaming on Sunday. We are doing this with the sponsorship of Total Family Health Organization and with Green Park Properties Limited, and we are so grateful to them. So, the enemies of love. Enemy number one, lack of commitment. Lack of commitment. We must understand that commitment is a chain that ties two people together. And so when the commitment is on there, you have two individuals, but you don't have a relationship. Commitment does more than just tie two people together. It also promotes security and trust. Enemy number two, lack of attention. Please don't muzzle the boy. Please, let him feel free, because we know his father. Number two, lack of attention. Men should always remember this. Women spell love as attention. And therefore, you cannot be in a relationship with a woman and not pay attention. And if there's no attention in the relationship, love will be under serious threat. Number three, taking each other for granted. Taking each other for granted. Nobody enjoys being taken for granted. She's done her hair. You don't see. She's put on a really nice dress. You don't see. You would soon find yourself at the emergency ward of the hospital. Have you realized this? That when the first time a young girl gets a ring on her finger, a ring that is put there by somebody, from that point on, she becomes a lefty. Yes. Every gesture she makes is with the left hand, and because you've got to notice it. You can't take people for granted. Enemy number four, infidelity. And infidelity comes in two main kinds. Emotional, because you can cheat emotionally, and then you can cheat physically. There are lots of people who are not cheating physically, but they are cheating emotionally. And they think that is not a big deal. Oh, it is a big deal. Enemy number 5, disrespect. Just as women spell love as attention, men also spell love as respect. And so when there is disrespect in the relationship, you can be sure that you're not really going to get love at all. Enemy number 6, abuse. And again, abuse is classified into 3 groups. There's the physical abuse, which we all know, but there's the verbal abuse. And then there's the emotional abuse. They are all abuse. One is not better than the other. They are all terrible. Enemy number 7, lack of humor. I see humor in a relationship as a lubricant or the oil of the relationship. It keeps everything in the relationship working well. Without humor, even things that are not a big deal can become huge. With humor, you can get over every rough time. So without it, love is in trouble. Number 8, irresponsibility. If you're irresponsible in a relationship, you're actually killing love. Enemy number 9, lack of emotional maturity. That is when you say, oh, I gave him a piece of my mind, or I told him what I thought about him. No. Emotional maturity is the kind that makes you pick your battles and pick the times and pick the venues as well, because you don't fight everywhere. You don't fight on every issue. It doesn't help. Enemy number 10, impatience. It's been said that patience always wins, especially in a love relationship. Now, where you are impatient, what happens is that you escalate every issue. If you are taking just a little time, a little bit of your time, this issue, we could have addressed it easily and calmly. But because you were not patient, suddenly something that we could have dealt with between ourselves suddenly becomes front page news. And then you would be calling for angels from other countries to come and help you. Enemy number 11, third parties. Third parties. There are third parties who sometimes their influence on a relationship could be very undesirable. And these are families, friends, colleagues in the office, pastors. Some pastors can be because they intrude too much into a relationship. I remember the case of a young man who had a little misunderstanding with his wife. The woman rushed to the pastor and said, this is what is happening. The pastor came and said, you must apologize to your wife right now. And the young man said, but pastor, you don't even know, you haven't even asked what went on. He said, I don't care. You must apologize to your wife right now, or I am taking her away. And the guy said, until you listen to my side of the story too, I will not apologize. And then said to the young lady, hey, pack your things, let's go. So the lady packed her things, and the pastor took her away. What the pastor didn't know was that the young man has been praying to get rid of this woman for a long time. The moment the pastor's car drove out of the compound, he sent for the neighborhood carpenter and said, come and change the locks for me. 3 weeks later, he arrives from work, and here is the woman sitting at the door. Hey, Rawo, he said, oh, I've come back. He said, you come back, saying, you went with your pastor. Me too, you two go. When I'm also happy, I'll send for you. Some pastors' role in people's relationships are not helpful at all. Family can also be disastrous. I give the example of a young lady I know, well, now not too young, sending her boyfriend home for the first time. And as soon as they enter the hall, her family, her siblings, call her and say, come. So she excuses herself from the boy. They pull her out of the hall, and then they say, hey, please don't tell us that you are bringing that into this house. And because of their disapproval, she ended the relationship. Now, years later, she remembers this and weeps every time. Because that young man that her family described as that grew to become one of the leading, indeed, in Ghana now, one of the top lawyers in Ghana. And at one point was even the president of the Bar Association, Ghana Bar Association. So third parties. And I make this point that before you throw anybody out of your life because your family is making some comments, take your time because you may live to regret it. Enemy number 12, social and cultural imperatives. The society you grow up in and the culture you grow up in can affect your relationship and can put great pressure on the relationship. In particular, if the society does not value women, what will happen is that if you related to anybody from another society where women are valued, you are going to be in serious trouble. If the society does not understand what marriage is, and there are a lot of societies that do not understand what marriage is, and then you're going to be in serious trouble. Enemy number 13, money. Money, the lack of it and too much of it. When there's no money, there's pressure in the family, in the relationship. Because everything, that's when every taste becomes a threat. You know, oh, can we go out for a meal? Hey, now you, and then it becomes a big issue. But there are also cases where money comes in. When they were marrying, the guy wasn't that well off, or the woman wasn't that well off. And then, by the grace of God, success comes, prosperity begins to flow, the guy comes into money, and now suddenly he realized that there are other girls in town who may be willing, who may be eager for him. And then suddenly you begin to see trouble. Or the girl comes into money and suddenly realizes that, hey, when you're in class. And then we have all kinds of issues. Enemy number 14. This is a very unlikely enemy if you are not married and have not had children. But the enemy is children, especially when they are younger. They can take so much out of a relationship. And at this point, if both of you are not careful, you are not patient with each other, and you are not open to each other, the resentment that builds from those early days of raising those toddlers and children could blow up in your face much later in the relationship. If I'm reading the Obama's latest book, and he talks about how when they had their first child, their relationship almost collapsed because Michelle called him one day and said, you know something, this is not what I signed up for. You're leaving me alone with this, and said it was a serious thing. Enemy number 15, uncleanliness. Uncleanliness, and I'm talking about personal hygiene. There are human beings who act like the goat. And I'm not talking about greatest of all time. I'm talking about the goat that goes into soup or gets into kebab. You know the quality of the goat? Water does not touch his forehead, his head. And there are human beings who are like that. Water does not touch them. If you are like that, you are creating problems in your relationship. And then those who are not clean with their environment, you enter the hall or the kitchen, and you wonder, did a hurricane pass through here and dump everything from the neighborhood? Uncleanness can be a big issue. Uncleanness even in the matter of, you know these people who, when they enter the house, their shoe go off their feet on its own and decides where to go and be. Because it has to be that the shoe decided where to go and fall. Because if They wanted to do it. They should have known that the shoe is kept here and things. They just throw everything all over the place. And that is part of uncleanness. Enemy number 16, sex. And I'm making 4 points on this. When sex is introduced too early in a relationship, it will kill the relationship, especially for the man. Number 2, when you use sex as a weapon in the relationship, you have made sex an enemy of the relationship. Number 3, when you marry and there is no sex, you either don't feel like it or whatever reason, or you are making, you are destroying the relationship. And number 4, when sex is not good, when sex is poor. And it is poor when one person just satisfies himself and moves away or rolls over and sleeps. And I can see that the young man is agreeing that, yeah, talk to my father. Because when I go there, say, yeah, talk to him. Talk to my father for me. And you know something? The people watching us don't know what's going on here. And yet suddenly somebody is feeling very guilty. I don't know why. Let it roll. Enemy number 17, emotional baggage. It is unfortunate when we carry the hurts and the resentments and the pain of a previous relationship into the other. Or when we take on the person we are relating to all the hurt from the home we were raised in. So maybe you were raised by step-parents or by an auntie, and all the mistreatment they gave you, you bring all that anger into this relationship. You are killing the relationship. Number 18, enemy number 18, very much close to enemy number 17, and it is the X factor, as in the ex who never goes away. You know, he is an ex, but you are thinking about him all the time. And so it's almost as if he never went away. Or the ex who is calling you and you are picking his call and things like that. It is something that maybe those of you in the studio will have to help me with. The guy left you to marry somebody else. Why are you still picking his call? And then he calls you and says that I'm not happy in my marriage, and you are listening to it. The ex who is never forgotten, and the X factor can cause a lot of trouble. Enemy number 19, lack of acceptance. Lack of acceptance of your partner and lack of acceptance of you yourself. Some of us go into a relationship when we haven't accepted ourselves. So we have all kinds of insecurities. And then some of us also go into a relationship and then try to change our partners. It doesn't work. Trying to change your partner will not work. Comparing your partner with others won't work. Mocking your partner's personality and his background, especially ethnic background, it doesn't help. You're either accepting this person or you are walking out of the relationship. Finally, enemy number 20, spiritual. This is the enemy that can be found in the spiritual realm, and I say that please let this be the last thing you look at when you are looking at the problems in your relationship, because it may have nothing to do with spirituality at all. It may just be that you yourself are not measuring up. So, but on the spiritual, I'm not just looking at demons and witches. I'm looking at you spending too much time in church. It doesn't help. Or you are married and you are always in church. Hey, the interference of pastors, which I've addressed already. You over-spiritualizing everything. Everything, it has to be spiritual. Where you go to the market and bring food home and suddenly we are over-spiritualizing it. The what do you call it? There's this situation. I used to work in the Swansea Arcade, on the second floor of Swansea Arcade. One afternoon, the whole floor was turned upside down. Why? A secretary working in her office looks up, and here is a snail in her office. And she freaks out. And everybody, so she screams, everybody runs from their offices, they go and they all see, and somebody brings olive oil and begins to pour it. Another person comes, begins to do binding and loosing and things like that, rebuking the powers of darkness and things like that. Because Swansea Arcade, those of you who know Swansea Arcade, there's no way a snail should appear on the second floor. Whilst all this commotion was going on, a young lady is returning from the washroom and hears what is going on. Says, "What's happening?" Says, "Oh, go and see. As soon as see, Anita's family have manifested as snails and they have come to attack her." And says, "Snails?" She rushed into her own office because, unknowing to the rest of them, she had gone to the market during her break time to buy things for home, and it included snails. And one had slipped out of the bag and somehow had made its way to the office. And suddenly that snail had become a demon. So let's be careful how we spiritualize things. It may be nothing more than you misbehaving. And so those are the 20 enemies of love relationships. Just make sure that you don't give any of these enemies a chance to mess you up and to mess your relationship up. So we'll take a little break, and then when we do come back, Effie will walk us through the process of how we can get on to watch Rejected on Sunday at 6 p.m., and then we'll take your questions from that point on. Thank you for being with us. We'll be right back. Chrissy?
What's up? Chai, broken money. 20, no contribution, no chop. But you pan 20 for this. See, I don't get nothing. The second baby just landed. So soon, but the first baby is just a year old. That is why he has kept it a secret. See, I just can't help it. My babe is fine. Look who is talking. We have fine wives too, but we plan our lives. Our wives take Secure. Secure oral contraceptive pill is trusted by many women because it has helped them to effectively plan their families. Jobo, have a discussion with your wife and go see your doctor or midwife for advice. Charlie, you guys open my eyes for go pay.
This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Mother, is that how it is done? Oh, you're mobile. Yourself is sad. Look at yourself. Hey, I said, look at yourself, and also look at me. Hey, Connie, I said, look at yourself. Connie, your one eye look at me. One eye look at me, right? I saw my look at me, Jibo. Hey, don't say echo. Oh, me and my people, we are thinking we are buying a. That will lay eggs, one, and hatch them, one, fine, beautiful. And so more, what we are buying? A cock. Only useful to be waking people up early morning, disturbing them. You, since you have married my child boy, what me I'm benefiting of you? Brother, December Christmas, what you have buying me? Is it a common cloth? Eh? I target. Oh, me. Anti-car, colleague, no ninja #1. My dressing, high society. My shoe, high society. My laughing, high society. That buy me I target. Oh, boom, I just say, but you bow, swap. Ah! Hey, anointing me. My God. Eh?
Hey, Charlie. What's up? Chai, Roverman money. 2020, no contribution, no chop. But you pan 20 for this. See, I no get nothing. The second baby just landed. So soon? But the first baby is just a year old. That is why he has kept it a secret. See, I just can't help it. My babe is fine. Look who is talking. We have fine wives too, but we plan our lives. Our wives take Secure oral contraceptive pill is trusted by many women because it has helped them to effectively plan their families. Jobo, have a discussion with your wife.
Thank you very much for staying with us and welcome back. As I promised, Efe is here with me, but so are others. We have the talkative here. We also have Auntie France. Yeah. And then we have Adrian here. He hasn't messed up today, so I don't have any nickname for him today. You're welcome, gentlemen and ladies.
Thank you.
Effie,
Yes.
how are you doing?
I'm fine, Uncle.
Great. Walk us through. It looks like Nesbeth has something in for you.
Yes.
He must always commend you or say something. Nesbeth, he's using his class prefect privileges to this. The way you are going, I know 2 people on the thread who may depose you as class captain because of the direction you are going. Right, Effie, walk us through how we can watch the play Rejected on Sunday at 6 p.m.
Okay, it's a very simple process. We have a guest list. So you need to pay 20 Ghana cedis to our Momo account and fill in the form to be added to the guest list. Now, we will send you an email within 48 hours. So don't expect it to be immediate. We'll send you an email with your link. That link will be active on Sunday at 6 p.m. So when you receive the link, don't try and open it and say, I can't watch it. It will be available at Sunday on 6 p.m. We actually have a little promo today.
Okay.
Buy one, get one free. Yay! So today, meaning Friday, so not those who will watch this tomorrow, Friday, you can buy join the guest list and you can add a friend of yours on for free. So the details of that, yes, the details of that will be on Uncle's page. It will also be on our Instagram. Click on the buy one, get one free artwork and follow the process and enjoy the show on Sunday.
All right, okay. So how do we get, what do I do to get the mail?
So you need to find the artwork on any of our social media.
Okay.
Or you can send us a WhatsApp to 050-554-6030. We'll send you a link to the Google form.
Okay.
Make your payment, fill out the form, and you'll get the link by email.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. For your information, Nesbeth, Elom is throwing a challenge to you that we would have to hold a new elections for class captain. So maybe you better start campaigning now. And then let's see whether you can hold, whether you will get 4 more years. Or you now come and implement, what do you call it, the free SHS.
Free data for yes.
Well, Miss Oregon,
Yes, Daddy.
how's the dynamic duo doing?
Daddy, we are fine.
Okay.
We are very fine.
All right.
Today, last I checked.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. You're welcome.
Thank you, Daddy.
It's always good to see you.
It's a pleasure to be here.
I'm looking at the top. What you're wearing? Wow. Did the other part of the dynamic duo see this?
No, he left before I
Oh.
But I'll pass. His office is just here.
So you passed through? Okay.
I'll go and say hi.
Okay. No, this one we are just passing through. You know, just passing through. Fantastic. Auntie France. Tell them why I'm calling you Auntie France.
Parce que I traveled to France for 2 weeks and oui, c'est ça. D'accord. D'accord.
She traveled to France and discovered that her primary school French had not been forgotten.
Oui.
Yeah, I think you shocked yourself with how much of it you could recall.
I was amazed.
Yeah.
And something about the French air which
triggered
the and I got here and then the gun came back.
All right. Adrian, how are we doing?
We're doing good. Yeah, the family is doing fine.
Okay.
Boy's turning 1.
Well, he's turning 1 when?
Next week, Wednesday.
Next week, Wednesday?
Yeah.
Young man, celebrate it. Why? Now you are going to be dethroned very soon.
Keyword, very soon.
Wow. What has surprised you about fatherhood so far?
How annoying the boy, how intolerant I am of him. I love him to death.
Yes.
But I catch myself getting frustrated with him easily.
Okay.
And I was like, but this guy, why am I acting this way? Because sometimes I do that and I'm like, you are the parent. He doesn't know what he's doing.
Yes.
Wise up and stop being a baby too. That I constantly say, don't be a baby too. Don't be a baby too. It's I catch myself being so intolerable.
You see why we value mothers?
Yeah.
Because mothers don't lose it, but fathers do. We can't stand it. We can't stand it when, especially, eat you won't eat. What kind of nonsense is that? Eat you won't eat. Now we have to sing to you before you take one sing and things like that. It's yeah. You know why grandfathers love grandchildren? They are evidence of our revenge on our children. Yeah, that's why we love our grandchildren. Because you see, when you were stressing us out, you were too young to see it. But we felt it. Now we have somebody stressing you, doing to you what you did to us. And we get to watch the show. All we have to do is to watch the show. Watch your frustration.
So that's why you spoil them.
Yeah, that's what
for us when we take them home.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. There's no grandfather who, if you send your children to and you're coming for them, won't give the children sugary things. So that when they go home,
make them sleep at any time they want to sleep. Now they get home and their timing is off.
It's off, yeah, because we love it. Because you mess us up, you stress us up. It's good. Miss Wega, what surprises you about it?
I've learned how patient I can be.
Okay.
Because I used to always think, well, I was quite impatient. But I have learned that I'm patient. And then I have learned how forgetful I've become as a mom.
Okay.
So it was Monday, last week. Last week on my way to work. So I have this thing I do. Okay, so you carry his stuff into the car, then you finish everything, and then you take him from his walker and put him in the car, and then you go to work. So I was like, okay, the stew is on stove. Let me just put it on fire. And then by the time I finish putting all his stuff into the car,
it will be done.
It will be at least warm enough. And then I can just take him, turn off the stove, pick him up, and then go. I came back from the car after doing all that, and I forgot the stew was on fire. Picked him up to the car, drove home, dropped him at my mom's, got to the office, and I was like, it just hit me. You left the stew on fire. Yes,
wow.
The silver is like gone. The place was all smoky. Yeah, but it was good. It was an experience.
I said that we've discovered that, for the men, we've discovered that you are more patient with the children than with the bigger child.
Yeah. Oh.
I.e. the father.
Yes, I think, yes.
You know, and that kind of awam we don't understand.
There's someone to compare with now. It initially was just you being a child and it was cute. Now there's an actual child.
Yes.
Who is actually doing what they are meant to do. And you are doing what the child is also doing. It's almost like, be the dad. Like, you know, let me not have to baby you too. And so that we can actually all take care of the child who's an actual child.
Yes.
Because you're not cute anymore. You're just.
We know.
You're just annoying. Like, why are you?
Every man knows that when the children come, their position in the house is gone. We are no longer special anymore. No. We are no longer special anymore until they want another child.
Yes.
Then suddenly they discover, oh, okay. Then they call you D. Let's go to the questions from last week before I make somebody hide under the chair.
I'm deeply hurt by my husband. In taking decisions for the family, I point red flags to him, but he doesn't consider my submissions and goes on to do what he wants. It eventually backfires and brings untold...
Start reading again.
I am deeply hurt by my husband. In taking decisions for the family, I point red flags to him, but he doesn't consider my submissions and goes on to do what he wants. It eventually backfires and brings untold hardship to us. It has happened on a number of occasions, and I feel I'm losing the love I have for him because he doesn't care. He thinks I have no sense in my head, and it's affecting our sex life. I get angry when he touches me. Can you help me forgive him so I can take out the hurts and enjoy my sex life?
Wow. Adrian, I think you should handle this.
Okay.
The young man does not listen to his wife.
It's something that's real. I caught myself in a similar circumstance when Ifo drew my attention to it. That she told me, when I'm giving you a suggestion, just listen to me. It might be stupid, but listen.
I can hardly hear you.
Sorry. If I was saying that when she's giving a suggestion, I should just listen to it. It might be stupid to me. It might not be what I'm thinking of doing, but I should just listen and at least validate that. Then I can give her the reasons why. Because often than not, when she starts, it won't work. So I'm like, oh, no. And it kills something in the woman. It's like you don't value her intelligence. You're telling her she's stupid. And that, I'm learning that it's a big deal for women. You have to respect that she's also intelligent. She's smart enough. And what she's doing is helping you. Really, all she's doing is offering help, not trying to undermine your authority. She's giving you a suggestion so that you will look better in making that decision. It's something I'm slowly learning, because when she said it that time, I just looked back and I was like, I've done this more than once. But this time she can't take it, so she's telling me.
Yeah.
So I was like, I have, because I know she's smart. I appreciate that about her, but you know, we I don't know what happens to us as guys, but it will take conscious effort for this guy to affirm to his wife that you are smart enough, and I appreciate your suggestion. If I'm not going to even do it, I'll tell you why. Then we can all agree on a consensus of doing. But when you go and crash, don't come back, and you'll be chipping away from her personality by telling her you're not smart enough. You're not. I don't want to listen to you because you give stupid ideas, and that's what is making her not. Like, if you can't take my advice, why do you want to take my body? I think that's the kind of situation she's in. I don't know if you agree with me on that.
Yes, Fari.
So, with this lady's situation, I would like to tell her that there's one thing that I try, which works all the time, is I keep saying I go to the manufacturer, because there are some people who will not listen to you unless it is God finds a way to intervene with them. So first of all, is she going to the manufacturer, which is God? Is she talking to God about what is going on? If he's not listening, she should try that angle. And also, there are times that you talk to a person thinking that is how they hear, but people hear differently. She could be speaking as how she thinks when people speak to her, she understands. The language she could be using could be something she needs to change to be the language that he understands. He could understand maybe it depends. Is he the kind of person who listens when he's comfortable, who listens when he's under pressure, who listens to a random little drop, like hints that you drop there and there, but not giving him a lecture? It could be different ways. She needs to understand her man and how he hears, because he does listen to somebody. So she should try and emulate the people that he listens to. How do they talk to him? It could be that's the channel she can go through. And if all those fail, she should go to the manufacturer, because God has the manual. And if the machine is not working, go to the manufacturer. That's what I think.
Yes. You were agreeing with her. Okay. All right. I think the two angles are useful enough. Let's go to the next one, please.
Uncle, with regards to keeping things private, I think he said you dealt with this 2 weeks ago. What if her family With regards to keeping her private, what if her family members know but her church members don't? I don't know if that's a follow-up from another question.
Go on to the next question.
Okay. Uncle, how do I stop masturbation? Does it have any chance of destroying my relationship?
Ooh. How do I stop masturbation? We never
No, I hear it fries your brain, though. Is it true?
Come again?
I hear it fries.
It fries your brain.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't. Okay. No, okay. That is me being light-hearted there. But I can speak with confidence on masturbation because I used to be the Secretary General of the Masturbators Association. So.
No.
And so I should.
SGMA.
I think that until you understand what it is, it will keep messing you up. It will keep flowing you. The first thing you need to understand is that it could be a part of your normal growing up process. research worldwide has shown that boys, about over 60% of boys get into this before they even find themselves, before they find their feet and begin to make better choices with their lives. There's so much myth about it. There are those who say you will go blind. Not true. Those who said you fry your brains. Not true. And all that. Those who even use the scripture. There are two guys in scripture who had sex with a woman and spilled their seed because they didn't want the woman to be pregnant, because they knew that the child from that pregnancy would belong to their late brother. And they didn't want that. And there are Christians who use that as the example of masturbation and how God punished them and things like that. Misapplication of biblical passage. So this is what it is. This is from my experience. All I knew. I came upon masturbation by accident. I was reading some erotic material. And at a certain point, I felt a certain itch at a certain part of my anatomy. One thing led to the other, and before I realized, something had happened. So I didn't even know it was a thing. I didn't know it had a name. I didn't know anything. So now, and I couldn't talk with anybody. For a while, I thought it was my secret. Then I began to study, I began to read, I began to search, and then I realized that, hey, this thing that you think is your thing it's not your thing. It's there. It's common. And so I threw myself into it, and I read widely on it. Everything that was written about masturbation, I read. That is how I became the Secretary General. Now, but what I realized was this. No matter what they said, whenever I did it, I didn't feel good about myself. That one I couldn't get past. I didn't feel good about myself. And it didn't help that at that time, I was leading a group of young people in Youth for Christ. And I was teaching them purity and holiness. And I go and stand there and I'm preaching these sermons and I'm thinking to myself, you are such a hypocrite. Because look at you and things like that. And I just didn't want it. And I began to yearn to be free from it. And so, in my case, it was what it did to my self-image that made me decide this is not something I want. This is not something that is going to be helpful to me. And then later on, I learned also that, one can gain control over his sexual urges and sexual desires. And number three, that it could create problems with you relating to a real life human being, much like what pornography is doing to people now. Young men who are throwing themselves into pornography get to the point where they prefer watching a pornographic film than touch the woman, a real woman. And it happens gradually. When you start watching porno, it makes you even perform better in bed. Because you go to bed, you go to sex with the images of what you just watched, and you seem excited, except that you are not really having sex with a woman. You are having sex with the image, But with time, you graduate from that and not want to touch her either, because it will not be as much fun as the images and the pictures you're watching. And when you get to that point, you are in serious trouble, because it may not be easy to rewire your brain to the point where you can now get fulfillment and satisfaction with the real woman. And that is what masturbation can do to you if you do not get away from it. So your self-image, so check it. Does it make you feel good about yourself? If it doesn't make you feel good about yourself, then there's a way out. You begin to look for that way. Once you get to the point where you really, really feel that I don't really want this because it's not helping me, you'll find a way of breaking free. And this is from the Secretary General. Secretary General of the Masturbation Association. You said what is the what?
SGMA.
SGMA. Okay. All right. Yes. Let's go. Let's go.
Okay, the next one is also has a bit of a preamble.
Okay.
My boyfriend and I met whilst at training college. He proposed marriage immediately, but I turned him down because I couldn't return his love. He started abusing drugs, and my mother advised me to give him a chance, which I did. We dated for close to the 3 years we were in training college, but I still couldn't bring myself to love him, and I never kept it from him. Fast forward, we completed college and broke up. I went back to him after 2 years when I realized I started having some sort of feelings for him. We've been together for 8 years now after reconciling, but the problem is his sisters have refused to allow us to get married because he tried to commit suicide when I left him for those 2 years. So they won't allow me because I mistreated him in the past. It's been 8 years, I'm growing, and I'd like to settle down. Anytime I ask that we part ways because we can't get married, he threatens to commit suicide again. So because of this fear, I've held on. I'm tired now, and I don't know what to do. How do I get him off my back without him considering suicide?
Okay. Before I go, go. You are laughing at me. I'll get you. I'll get you. But when I was the Secretary General. All right, Miss Wega, let's help this young lady.
This is an interesting one. Well, I think first of all she should try getting him help. Someone a social worker, or someone who can help with suicide and drug abuse and all of that. My opinion, if someone wants to get married to you, it doesn't have to take the approval of some of the sister or someone for it to go through. He should want to marry you, and he should see it through and make the process make it possible. I think if she wants to move on, she should move on. Because, like she said, she's not getting any younger. And this is someone who's going to be dependent on you. Marriage in itself is not easy. And then you have this added pressure to go into. I wouldn't advise. It.
Okay. Auntie France.
In addition to what Gifty says, I think that there's one of the encore sessions that you did where you went through the things that you shouldn't say when you're in love.
Yes.
I think she needs to listen to that. If she can get that and listen to that and realize that it might not be love that they are experiencing right now, or he even has for her right now. So like Gifty said, she should get him help. They should watch that together if they can, and then try and reanalyze what exactly are we in right now.
Yeah.
Hopefully after he watches that, he will say, maybe I don't love you. You're more of my support than a person I love. And I would, because it's a bit toxic what she's experiencing. And with the sister's issue, I dare ask her if it's possible. Why has she been listening to them for 8 years? And why has she been going on for 8 years? Is there a reason why she's still there aside the gentleman? Because for 8 years, his family have said no, but you're still going on. She should interrogate that as well and find out, is there something more I feel? Is there something, what is it that's holding me here? And she needs to deal with that thing and then also break free from that.
Ever, you wanted to say something?
Oh, sorry. It was something I need to inform you.
Oh, you needed to give me some information? Yes. Okay.
Please, you can continue.
Okay. This is information you can give me off air?
Yes.
Or on air?
Oh, yes, on air is fine. The team from
Come again?
The team from Christ are here.
Okay. The question I have for you is, why are you still here? Why are you with this boy? I wonder whether the sister is not doing you a favor. No, truly. Because he obviously is a damaged person, and unless he gets help, marrying him would make life very difficult for you. Today, he's threatening to kill himself if you walk. The next day, he will kill you first before killing himself. You're dealing with somebody who is emotionally damaged, and I think you should move on. I think you should. It may be difficult, but please move on. 8 years, regard the 8 years as
Seed planting.
yeah, or purgatory. And you've been given another chance for life, so go on. Let's take the last question and then we go.
Okay. So there's a question. How do you regain lost trust?
Wow. How do you regain lost trust after it has been abused, after it's been betrayed? All right. Okay. We'll go to France first, and then we'll come to a burning kitchen. We hope that's the last time we'll have that kind of situation. And then we'll go to Australia and Zimbabwe. And then we'll end up in Accra. All right, let's go.
Okay, for this is my experience, or my thoughts on this is that I don't think we ever regain that trust. We just work on moving on and then building a new trust. And that starts from giving that person a clean slate and say, we're beginning from here. The reason being that whatever the person did must have really would have to wipe up everything for you to lose all the trust. But to say I am still staying in this relationship and I'm still moving on should be that the beginning all over again, and saying now we're building all over again. I'm not going to try and regain what was lost, but I'm going to give you a second chance to prove that I can trust you and then move on again. I think that is a sensible thing.
Okay. Didi.
Yes, so full trust cannot be regained, in my opinion. I think you can gain some level of trust for the person, and this would equally stem from the person making the attempt or putting in the work to rebuild the trust. The person would have to put in trust building measures, like making sure that everything he does is open, is transparent, making sure communication is at its best, making sure the person is giving you information as and when he gets it. And prayer works a lot too as well, because sometimes once trust is broken, you can there are lots of assumptions that can come to mind in certain peculiar situations, and sometimes you just need to learn to pray about it and tell yourself that I don't have the full picture, but I believe it's in God's hands, and He's gonna handle that. So that's my opinion on trust.
Okay. Zimbabwe.
I think it depends on what both of you want. If this is coming out of a romantic relationship, I don't know I think you have to make a decision. Do we want to go back into a relationship? Do we want to remain friends? Or do we just want to respect each other as two people who had something? And to me, that would determine the track you take to regaining trust, or whether you need to take that route.
Okay.
I don't think forgiving someone means you have to trust them again. And I think in terms of the question of regaining, I feel like this person is saying that, okay, maybe the person has come back to me and they are presenting such a clear case that, okay, let me try. In which case, I really think it's hard, but you have to kind of put yourself in their shoes. If I made a mistake that was really grievous and I ruined a person's perception of me, what would I do to make them understand that that I'm worth trusting, that everyone is worth a second chance? And then after putting yourself in their position, I think it's easier to open your mind to the idea that, all right, this is your second chance.
Okay.
So I really think the other thing I feel is, again, it's difficult, but at the end of the day, if we're Christian, we believe that God forgives us for everything when we present ourselves for that forgiveness.
Okay.
So if you want a relationship with a person, whether it's a friendship or back into the romantic one, then try. Open your mind a little and try. If you've gone in and it's like they've done one thing, twice bitten, once shy, at least you tried.
Okay. All right. Adrian.
Well, Uncle, I think it's a difficult thing to gain somebody's trust back, and if you want to do that, if you want to embark on a journey, if it's wise to do that, be very patient with the person, because expect that he or she will doubt you, and be ready for that. Don't be impatient when the person says, well, I can't trust until you prove yourself. And that journey is going to be more difficult than when she trusted you or he trusted you fully. And if you're prepared for that, give him or her all the time in the world to build the trust by being consistent and showing up where you're putting your mouth where your word is, showing up time and time again, to the extent that all her doubts will be wiped away. It's not an easy journey to go on. If you're prepared to do that, give the person time to heal, and then allow room for doubt. So you build the trust to a certain level that the person can take your word for what it is.
I think I would like to do a presentation on this next week, on trust and trust issues, because it's not a very simple matter. There are people, you give them a second chance and they will hurt you even more. There are people, a second chance will transform them completely. But you've got to know who can, because when you throw what is precious to a pig, it turns on you. It tramples upon it and turns on you. So it's not an automatic thing. I can forgive you, but I don't need to trust you again. I can forgive you. I've forgiven you, but don't. I will not put myself where you can hurt me again. But it's a difficult thing, so we'll deal with it, God willing, next week. For now, there are two people who were supposed to have joined us. In fact, they were supposed to be the panel. And knowing how difficult the questions were going to be, they stayed away. And they came in late. And so, can you come on camera and just say hello, and then I will let you go. Efe and Miss Oega can go. Oh, Paris didn't need to go. Please, you sit here. Okay. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Please introduce yourselves and what you are doing in my studio.
My name is Elom Atipu.
Elom?
Atipu.
Okay.
Yes, and I'm from the Anointed One Congregation of the Presbyterian Church of Ghana.
You're from where?
Anointed One Congregation.
Okay.
Anointed One.
Congregation?
Yes.
Of the Presbyterian Church?
Of Ghana.
I didn't know Presbyterian Church also goes for those fanciful names.
Oh,
I'm used to those names with the charismatic churches, but Presby, I thought you name Ramzia and things like that.
For the Anointed One, it means Christ. So we are not far away from the normal Ramzia Ebenezer.
Okay.
We are still within our scope.
Okay, yes, go on.
Yeah, so I'm here as a member of the Yuda Fest committee. Yuda Fest is an annual program of the church, which is spearheaded by the youth. It's supposed to be an in-person program. Because of the COVID, we are now also strategizing to go virtual as possible.
Okay.
And I realized that we also need to expand our coverage. So we thought it wise to also come to meet our father, who for some time realized that also shares the same vision, but probably worldwide. Ours is in the community setting. Basically, the program is to enlighten the youth, give them knowledge, empower them, entertain them. So basically, that's what we've been doing for the past 10 years.
Okay.
But this year, because of the COVID, we want to also take advantage to go global. And we can't go global by ourselves. That's why we've partnered, or we've come to join you. So I'll leave the rest for my colleague to also.
All right. Your colleague whom you didn't introduce. Yeah, please introduce yourself.
I'm Anna.
Raise your voice a little so we can hear.
I'm Anna Dufi. Yes, I'm also a member of the committee.
Okay.
So, as he said, it's supposed to be a 10th anniversary, but because of the COVID.
Wait, you've done this for 10 years?
Yes, 10 years.
Okay. All right.
So because of the COVID, we are trying to do a little.
Wait, 10 years ago, how old were you?
10 years ago?
Yes.
29.
You are 29?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, okay, yes.
Yes, so this year we are doing a little of the activities. Normally we have talk shows, relationship talks, drama, choreography, musical concerts on the last day.
Yeah.
But because of the COVID, we are doing everything virtual. So today we did the talk show in collaboration with Uncle Whyte. then tomorrow we have drama, which is also going to be online. And on Sunday also.
So you tune on to Sunny, or what? To Encore. So they are watching.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So anointed Presby, why are the anointed Presby youth people? Keep listening. I am happy that you've reached out to us. So thank you. Yana, your last word.
Yes. So tomorrow we have our drama.
Okay. Title?
Rise and Build.
Rise and Build.
Rise up and build. Yes.
Okay.
Which is tomorrow.
Are you playing a role?
No.
Elam, are you playing a role in the drama?
No.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So then, do you sing or you don't act? Do you sing?
Yes, I sing.
In the group?
Yes.
Elam, what about you?
I play the keyboard.
You play the keyboard?
Yes.
You keep.
A collaboration here.
All right, Elom and Anna, thank you very much. I wish you all the best for your program tomorrow, and for the rest of the week. I hope that next year we'll be able to begin the promotion earlier, leading on to the day. So, all the best with the anointed Presby congregation.
Anointed one.
Anointed day inside. 1 day inside.
Yes.
Okay. Anointed one.
Yes. So that the Christ is the anointed one. So if you take out the one.
Oh, so your pastor is not anointed.
He is very.
Okay. So.
I mean, just let it go. Don't.
Anointed one congregation. Presby of the Presby Church.
Church of Ghana, yes.
Okay.
In Sakumono, Maine.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much for coming along, and thank you very much, Anna. The next time you are coming, we would make sure. Ken, next year if we are hosting them, please bring a keyboard. Yeah, because we would like to see why the two of them came together. Well, so thank you very much, to you, thank you very much for being with us. We appreciate that. Let's see you on Sunday evening at 6 p.m. for Rejected. Until we come your way again, stay blessed and please stay safe. The second spike of the coronavirus is serious. Stay safe. God bless you.
I like it here. I've learned a lot in 2 years. I have just 1 year to finish. My boyfriend and his family have come home to do the knocking, but I'm being very careful. I don't want to get pregnant and break my schooling. That is our madam. I really want to be like our madam. You should see her children, well spaced and also healthy and going to such good schools. I also claim the freedom Secure gives. With Secure, I decide.
This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.